Just last week on Monday, uh, I was blessed to be able to shoot my second deer for this year's deer season. I shot at about 7:15 a.m. But it was about 2 minutes before I heard the deer moving that I had prayed to God. So I was only looking to shoot a buck that day. I'd shot a doe 2 days earlier. I was only hunting buck that day. And I said, Lord, I'm trusting you for a big thing, something only you can provide. Would you give me a buck today? I was planning on hunting the whole day. And I just felt Lord speak to me and say, ask me for one. Ask me. I am not exaggerating when I tell you 2 minutes later, I heard the buck walking. Now there's of course a bunch of squirrels. Anybody who hunts knows there's a lot of squirrels that distract you sometime. So I'm thinking, okay, that sounds like a deer walking, but maybe it's just a squirrel. So I'm waiting. And sure enough, within a minute or two, I see the deer. I see it as antlers. Like, oh wow. I'm just thinking, wow, Lord, that wasn't even but 2 minutes. And I put my scope up on it. I see it's legal. I wait for a good shot and I put him down. And I have to share that testimony because it was all God, and it would be a lack of my faith to not share the testimony. I'm going to get into that here shortly in this video, but it's so important to be sharing our testimony when God delivers. And it's very important. It's part of how we grow our faith. And if we're not willing to share the testimony, what does that say about us? What does that say about our character? What does that say about our relationship with our Heavenly Father? And a testimony is not simply our salvation story. It can be everyday ways God has moved in our life. God has spoken to us. God has delivered and answered a prayer. So like the disciples in Acts 1, after they came from the Mount of Olives, that mountaintop experience, and they knew they were going to get to work following the instructions Jesus gave them, they committed to praying corporately. So take that point with you as you think about what 2026 looks like for you. What are you doing? What is your first steps? Now, I encourage you to make it pray. Pray with your spouse. Pray with the leaders of your church and your community. If you're able, pray with those at work. Pray with those in the business setting. Pray and seek God for what is next for your team, your organization, your family.